Today, you will learn a simple practice that will improve your happiness, and better yet, it will likely improve the happiness of others. Thanks for joining today to learn what this practice might be. I'm Michael Anderson, and this is the Happiness Playbook.
11:05 a.m.
You have one unheard message.
Welcome to the Happiness Playbook, a podcast designed to encourage you to seek happiness regardless of your circumstances. If you're looking for uplifting, family-friendly content that helps you to be happy, then you've found the right place. If you're looking for foul language, vulgarity, or violence, I'm sure you can find it somewhere else, but you will not find it here. The Happiness Playbook exists to bring you a happiness practice, and that is to say that we are here to spread happiness. And if you would like to help in that effort to spread happiness, please subscribe to the channel. We're here every week to give you tips and tricks that can help you in your life to be happy. So please consider subscribing to the Happiness Playbook. And if you will, also hit that bell, that'd be awesome. And tell your friends about the podcast as well. This is a great way to spread happiness that you can do very easily, is just tell your friend that there is a podcast out there that spreads positivity, happiness, joy, all those amazing things, and gives you practices that help you in your life. So for those who have been following with us before, we're actually adding a section today, adding back a section, I should say, which is the highlight reel. And basically what the highlight reel is we're going to give you good news. So it's going to be a highlight reel of good news in the world, because guess what? There's plenty of bad news, right? The news can get very tiring to us. So I'm going to share just a little bit of good news to start us off for today, and then we are going to get ourselves into the topics of today. So first off, the good news. My sister just got married. Woohoo! And guess what? He's a great guy. I love him. It was really, really awesome experience to go out. I actually traveled out to Utah for the wedding. I got to see so much family, so that's also part of the good news. I've never seen so much family in one spot. It was almost overwhelming. I didn't have time to talk to everybody. There were cousins I wasn't even able to talk to, and I was saying, hello, hello, hello all night, It was really just a great example of everyone coming together, two families. There was no drama. It was just a beautiful experience, beautiful messages. I heard from my older sister at the wedding, who gave just an amazing, amazing speech at the wedding, and that was just so cool to see. And my younger sister who got married, she did such a good job at planning out the wedding. It was a lot of fun. And welcome, Mace, to the family. So my sister got married. That was some good news. The next good news, I'm actually gonna take a look here. Okay, you're getting the gist. You might miss some of the cropping here a little bit, but that's okay. I think you're gonna get the gist here. Okay, so here is the good news, okay? Beating the heat with a million bloomin' sunflowers in breezy Scotland. Look, this is coming from News Network, not a sponsor of the show, though that would be pretty awesome if they were. It's August right now at the time of recording, and what do we know about August? It's hot, there are no holidays, there's nothing going on, so it's easy for us to look down on the world. But just take a look at this. The month of August heralded the return of 14 acres of golden sunflowers topping the landscape in Scotland. Open to visitors through August 23rd. And I'm going to butcher these names here. The Balgone Estate has once again opened its vibrant sunflower trail located an hour and a half outside Glasgow. If you're listening and not watching, there's this big field. It's like... It's kind of like crop circles, but it's not, because it's like designed. It's definitely designed by people, which the crop circles are definitely designed by aliens. Hot take. No, I'm just kidding. Think what you will on that. They use the boring month of August as an opportunity to bring the community together and do something kind of cool and have a flower event. So that is incredibly cool. Okay, let's get into our team huddle for today. So last week we talked about the slow build as a way to build success in your life. And I like to think that if you're progressing towards something, that is bringing you happiness. Leave your comments below on what you think about that. But that for me is kind of an indicator because it's not just about being successful, but it's progressing is the journey, right? Progressing is the journey to success. And so I wanted to look at a couple of the comments that we had received. Here's the first one from Kiana Anderson. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Love you, honey. That's my wife. We spend most of our time on the path and not on the peak. Love this idea. Oh, well, thank you. In a world with social media, instant gratification, distractions always at our fingertips, it can be hard to remember this principle of the slow build. We see people online who have gone viral, made money quick, and now are attaining the things we want. But the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it. Boom. There we go. Okay, I give you an okay quote and you give me an amazing quote. That's why I married her. My slow build right now is getting out of debt. We've been working on it for 2 years and are months away from being completely debt-free. It has been difficult, but so worth it and so rewarding. Yeah, that's very true. We've actually really learned this principle. I really should have shared this story before. Maybe I will. I think I was maybe saving it maybe for a few months once we get out of debt and we can go back to the accept and build. But that was a situation where we had to accept our circumstances, which were really tough. We had accumulated too much debt to be able to really take care of that on our own. And so we had to come up with a really strict plan that actually blessed us more. I'm actually very grateful for that adversity, right? For that circumstance. Even though it was a hard circumstance, I found happiness through that, through accepting and building. Okay, here is the next one from Larry. Patience in progress is absolutely underrated. There is the joke, the 15-year overnight success. Loads of good things take time. Yeah, isn't that right? Because when you look at someone, they say the overnight success, there's probably some people who go big overnight. A lot of them, they don't even really know how to manage like that success, which is what we talked about last week. But sometimes the success happens overnight. And but if you take those 15 years, the 15 years that come before that, it's like at some point the success happens. That's like a point on the spectrum. But the 15 years is the journey, right? So overnight success, what does that really mean? Usually you have some clue or some experience that has brought you to the current day, right? So I love that comment. Really good report. And there are more people who have been watching the video and our videos. And if you are not commenting, please do so. Please take a look at the play of the week. That's our invitation that we give every week. And leave us a comment. That'd be really awesome. And if you comment, there's a good chance that we will take a look and we will read it. Okay, let's move on to the content of the day, the play-by-play, and the play of the week. And this is where we're going to talk about that simple practice that will change your life. And I wanted to teach this through a little story. So last week or 2 weeks ago, I was driving down the road and I live in a little town that has like one way out of town. So there's a lot of traffic that is on this road. And let's just say there was a really good amount of traffic and there was a semi-truck with a very large trailer in the back. It wasn't like one of the fully boxed in trailers, but I think it was even longer than that. And it had like a forklift on the back of it, like extending out from the back. So it was this very long semi, and I'm pretty sure it went down the wrong road and it was turning right to get on the road to go out of town. So I was headed that direction and this guy was turning and heading in that direction on the intersection that we were at. So this guy comes out, he starts to make a turn. I'm thinking, oh no, because it's a pretty small traffic light section. And as this person is doing this turn, he turns and is not able to get past the cars. So I'm actually concerned in this moment, like, oh man, we're just gonna have people honking, yelling at each other, using that beautiful vulgarity that you can find on other channels and not our own. And I was really expecting to see that. I was really expecting to see the rolling eyes and the frustration. But here is what I saw. The person who was in the turn lane noticed what was happening. And I saw his face light up with, I can help this person. who is in this predicament. So he looks up, he looks at the driver, and he starts waving him on, and he starts looking behind him and backing up his vehicle. He doesn't have anyone behind him. There are some people who are kind of slowly pulling up, but I think he was able to put his hazards on or something, and it showed people, hey, slow down, I'm backing up. And so he was able to make room, and then he was able to turn and get out of the way. And then the person next to him was doing the same thing. They were kind of giving some room. They found a little bit of room to back up and get around. And it was all in slow motion. I'm sure we all had places to be. We were all in vehicles. We're going somewhere. But this slow motion thing happened, and the semi-truck was able to pull through. And I didn't see the reaction of the semi-truck driver because he was on the other side, but I could tell that he was very happy because of the reaction of the person in the car who was helping him, who looked at him and just gave him like, yeah, you're good, like a good thumbs up. So that was really cool. I mean, I was just sitting there at the light and I was like, I can't believe that this happened. Like most other times when, something like that happens, there's rolling eyes, there's honking, there's just this like entitlement that happens, or this selfishness. So here is the practice that will change your life. It's asking a very specific and a very simple question. The question is, what is needed? That's it. It's that simple. So the driver who was sitting at the light and the semi-truck was turning towards him, what did he do? He asked, instead of asking what is wanted, what do I want? And what's in it for me? Why is this other person affecting me? And going down that negative spiral, he asked, what is needed? I am in a position to help, and what is needed? This is the principle. This is the principle that is going to change your life. I started living this principle like 12 years ago, something like that, probably 15 years ago. It's been a really long time. And I tell you what, every time I'm in a predicament where I want to be selfish and I ask what is needed, it brings me happiness. So that was the promise, right? Is that today you're going to learn this simple practice that will improve your happiness. So what we saw from the driver is we saw this light up on his face. We could see the joy of him helping. And it actually was, funny enough, it was the most effective way for him to get what he actually wanted, which was to get through the light, right? Otherwise, he would have just stayed blocked off and been angry and sad. Now, having this mentality also improves your relationship with others and improves the happiness of others as well when we ask what is needed. I'm sure you can think of a lot of experiences in your life, or maybe even just a handful, where you were in a predicament where you needed help and someone was just observant. They took the time to sit, be present, observe, and ask the question, what is needed? The principle that this is attached to, the play theory principle, is look outward. And it takes us to not be selfish for a second, to set ourselves aside, find a need that somebody else has, and say, like, my needs in the moment just don't matter right now compared to helping others. So how does this lead to happiness? How does looking outward, how does asking what is needed lead to happiness? Well, I find that when you're thinking about yourself, and maybe you relate to this too, and tell me in the comments if you relate to this statement. When you think only about yourself, you remember your flaws, you think about the things that upset you, you start to look at others as adjacent to or external factors that influence your life for the worse. Because if you always need, if you always take, and you never give, then that's not a solution for happiness. Like, how does it feel when you just want all the time and you never get what you really want, right? Or you have expectations that other people are going to always see what your needs are, and they end up not. They end up like letting you down, right? So that's why selfishness cannot lead to happiness, because when we're looking just at ourselves all the time, it's either a reflection of our own flaws, or it's like a person who's just eating and can't get enough to eat, right? It's like eating junk food expecting to be healthy. So looking outward, helping others is a way to be happy, because it opens our heart. It actually helps us to feel good about ourselves when we help others, right? So it is self-serving. Looking outward is self-serving, but it's in a positive way. So that's why the simple practice is to ask what is needed. That's essentially, that question is to get you in a mindset of looking outward and not looking in on yourself and being selfish and being unhappy, right? We are doing this community thing, and community brings happiness. Charity brings happiness. Love brings happiness. So here's the play of the week. I would like you to ask the question, what is needed? I want you to find a situation where somebody else is working. I think all of us can find a situation where someone else is doing some task, okay? And in that moment, I want you to ask what is needed. And maybe they're cleaning out a storage closet or something, and it's like they're doing a really refined organization process. You might not be able to help with that specific process, right? But that's why the question, ask what is needed, is so powerful, because you could say, well, while they're doing this, maybe there's something I can do to assist them from the outside. Maybe they need water. Maybe I can go clean something else. Maybe they need space. Maybe they need music, right? And sometimes it just is about asking a simple question. Sometimes what is needed is, hey, how can I help you? I see you're working really hard. What can I do to help you for the better? So that's the play of the week. That is your invitation. Please do that. If you do that, you will be happy, and I would like you to report back in the comment section. Remember to share this podcast as well. That's also part of the invitation. We're really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's a way that we can then become monetized, and we can grow more, and we can spread more happiness. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in this week. We will be back next week with another practice to help you with your happiness. Remember that happiness is a skill, and skills take practice. And we'll see you on next week's episode. Thank you very much.